IVM.
You want to know how you can win 100% cashback on your credit card bill? Easy with Credit Power Play. This IPL season, pay your bills during the Power Play overs and you could win 100% cashback. The winner has their name and pick projected onto the stadium, which you can catch on your TV screens too. So what are you waiting for? Download Cred.
Hi and welcome to Know Your Kanun. This is Amar from Imrana Ventures and welcome to our new episode on Know Your Kanun, of course. And today I have surprisingly someone very interesting, a very senior gentleman, but yet a dear friend. And he's been, of course, the landmark of comedy and stand-up and whatnot in India. So I'm going to introduce Mr. Cyrus Parocha on the show.
I am just a reflection of how India's economy is doing right now. कपड़ा भी नहीं है मेरे पास, कमीज भी नहीं है. आप देख सकते हो कि situation बहुत गंभीर है. And I don't mean the cricketer. This is where we are at the moment. We have nothing thanks to the government. I'm so angry with the state government, I can't tell you. I know this is not perhaps the right forum for that, but the philosophy is completely wrong. But sir, it's your show. You tell me what to do. Know your kanun. I'm the son of 3 generations of lawyers. And myself 1 year LLB, if it helps.
So that, Cyrus, I think that suffices our requirement of, having 3 generations of lawyers and 1 year of LLB. That adds up, You're jolly and LLB both in a different way, I suppose. So Cyrus, welcome to the show. And of course, I've been on Cyrus's show.
Nice.
I'm learning from Cyrus being on his show. So
thanks to the Zoom and the hotspot and the fact that I'm far away now, all the comedy will take a little while to digest. But by the time you've made your joke and by the time I've understood it, you've already moved to your next point. So, we've got that to live with, which will be fun for the viewer.
Absolutely. So Cyrus, let's start with you. I'm going to put it to you. First, let's talk about the legal scenario in India. And of course, we have a set of things to discuss. And I thought let's start with the lockdowns first. I think that's the most important ones because lockdowns are getting to us every now and then. Right?
But, your show should be given the most, publicity and push there possible. Because the biggest issue we have is people just don't know their law. Exactly the title, Know Your Kanun. We don't know our Kanun.
People just don't know the law.
And so we get bullied a lot. We get bullied by the cops, we get bullied by bureaucrats, we get bullied by uniforms, all the time telling us what to do because we just don't know.
Absolutely.
For example, I was told by a leading lawyer many years ago, of course, now we're in a state of emergency of sorts, so they'll keep using that card, that Nakabandi has to be announced in the newspaper. Previously, you cannot just have Nakabandi.
You cannot just have Nakabandi.
But every day for the last 10 years, 6 a.m. in the morning, me and, going to the gym, I have to go through a Nakabandi, which makes no sense. And the only people they stop are the kids going to play cricket, the old father with the helmet, got up early to take his child to play. Obviously serious about the game. People are going to play cricket, football, training, schools. So you're just harassing people. You're not catching any Atangwadi, you're not catching any gangster, you're not catching any leading hooligan because no leading hooligan is out at 6 o'clock hanging around just to kill time.
Yes.
So, but I didn't know this. I didn't know that that is illegal and you can argue the point, sir, khabar to nahi mila humko, media mein khabar nahi aaya, so why should we accept your Nakabandi?
Surprisingly, yes, correct, Cyrus, but surprisingly, that is how the Indian diaspora operates, that we are absent from knowledge of law.
This is a DNA issue in our subconscious. That we just are submissive nature and sycophants. Sorry.
No, Cyrus. So, so you rightly said about the Nakabandi thing. Globally speaking, when there is a pullover or a stop, there are rules to it. India also has rules to how that can be done on the presumption of suspicious activity, and that has limits that he cannot look into your car, he cannot put his head inside and pull your keys out and do stuff like that. But
take the license.
The cops do it all the while in India. Yes, they cannot do it like that. They cannot ask you and put your hand inside. I've seen so many bikers in their keys being pulled out right away on the stop, right? Correct. So it's only on the suspicion. I mean, also I give it to our environment that people try to run also in a very fancy way, that they lag, they're not touching the keys and all, and then it'll suddenly accelerate and run off. So that's a different ball game, you adapt. But legally speaking, what is correct is this: you cannot put your hand inside someone's car and just pull off the keys and say, or come out, or just shove your head inside. And this happens since we're starting with lockdowns. I'll again narrate, I was in Bombay. So Bombay has very funny police, I must say, and very nice police also. Funny police in a way that I was coming with a friend on a bike from South Bombay onwards towards Andheri. And of course, he was in the army. I was sitting behind. He was in uniform. So for him, what they did was, they let him cross. So he rode the bike and crossed. I was on another bike. I came behind. He's like, "Hey, roko." So I stopped. I said, "Yes." He's like, "Helmet upar karo." So he took my helmet up and smelled my face. I said, "What are you doing? You trying to kiss me?" So the guy says, "No, I was just checking if you had alcohol." I said, I'm with the guy who just left. I'm a lawyer myself. अभी पता नहीं चलता ना दूर से आप वकील हो या नहीं हो, कोई आइडेंटिफिकेशन दिखाओ, तो अभी छोड़ते आपको, so my whole idea is even they are fed up of people, trying to screw up their lives on a daily basis. And then when when something like this comes along, I also feel our police is overstressed. They also need respite from the antics that Indians do. Like, I've seen people who stuff mints along their jawline inside so that it smells as if there is no alcohol. They literally plug it along the dental cavity and then they try to act as if there's nothing in the mouth. So it's different, but legally speaking, they can't stop you. They can't have absurd checkings. They can't make you do funny stuff. And if they are making you do it, you have the right to report. So we'll come back to lockdowns now. Cyrus, this current lockdown which we have, do you think it's constitutional again to have such a lockdown?
Amber, from the first time we spoke, circa 2020, June, July, August, I think you and I have belonged to the same tribe, which is ferociously anti-lockdown. And my biggest problem with this is the reason why this lockdown is appreciated in countries like India and not in countries like America is because they have a sense of democracy, egalitarianism, and self-respect. That, my life means something. I can't just sit there and say, thank you, God. God, yani ke another government becomes God in your eyes. And middle class India behaves like that. At least in places like Malabar Hill, where they're saying, "Nay, Sarkar, we must follow the law." We never question. We never ask questions. We just say lockdown, lockdown, lockdown. What is the correlation? In a huge country like India, you just shut everybody down and you've solved it. If that was it, we should have done it. If you really believe that 3 months, lock everybody down and the end of this thing, okay. But use your head. It's nothing. It's all harassment and more harassment and more takleef. I think the Hindi word takleef is better than the English word harassment here because that's all it gives you. So please, I'll vent and scream and shout. I can't bear it. That we don't question. Question. We're a democracy. I have rights. You have rights. Amber and Cyrus are questioning. But Baki, nothing. No, they're doing their best. Poor things. You must think about them. The mayor is screaming lockdown now. After the horse has bolted. What is she going to lock down? What is she going to do? Kill us economically at the same time as they kill us otherwise? The bimari is not going anywhere. We have to deal with it.
It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. The idea why I asked you this lockdown is constitutional is not because a lot of people come and ask me कि lockdown लगाया कैसे. So I'll give a heads up on how lockdowns are put in. So there is the Epidemic Diseases Act in India, which is a pre-colonial era law which was enacted probably to quell the uprising in Bombay that happened with the Navy sailors in 1800s against the British. Yes, they were revolting, and it was made in such a way that there were no constitutional rights. Yes, so there is no constitutional right under a lockdown which is imposed. And because it is pre-colonial, so there are no directives. Of course, now state governments are giving their own directives to fight the battle with the original law. But my idea is that lockdown was to stop mutiny of soldiers or quelling, as you said, of any kinds of revolt. How are we, going to deal with this in this situation? India is in a lockdown state where economically we cannot recover with what's happened to us. You know that, right? We are just slogging ourselves and economy is not kicking back. Now, in this lockdown, what is allowed and what is not allowed? That's the funny bones question. A lot of people ask me, sir, main ghar se ja raha tha, cop came and started beating me with a stick. So I tell people, you must have violated something. That is why they're beating you, right? So he says, nahi, mera mask naak ke niche tha idhar. So on the upper lip. So I said, well, that's a fair enough reason for anybody to bash you up because you're breaking the law. Now, the problem is, even if I talk about this on the show and try to break it down, there are so many things we would need to address. First is being sensible citizens. I think we don't need a lockdown. We don't give the government a chance to impose lockdown if we become sensible ourselves in terms of following whatever COVID guidelines we're reading online, right? I have criticized a lot of friends, a lot of family, a lot of peers and professionals who have been so amazing with their mask policies. Education is the number one point to deal with any pandemic, and legally speaking, you can be fined when Epidemic Diseases Act or this is into place and they start questioning you on when the epidemic is in place. But again, we come back to the topic of how legit is the lockdown, which I say is not legit because there is no constitutional rights. There were so many cases of police brutality. There were so many cases of police misbehaving and taking the cue that they can do anything under this lockdown that has happened. All of that constitutionally is protected. There are different articles that protect it. You need to talk about that and I think submit it in terms of filing of regular complaints at intervals where you feel someone has used excessive force. The first point where we lose the plot is where you start misbehaving with a cop. Do not misbehave with cops. Try to maintain your sanity. Prove your point instead of getting into an ego hassle with a uniformed gentleman who's there to stop you from doing, whatever activity he's been authorized to do. There is no curative learning amongst the citizens and also the police. So I feel this lockdown is a mess, legally speaking also, and economically speaking as well. And I don't justify the lockdown as a lawyer at all, because it is not solving anything at anyone's front. It's loss of livelihood, loss of human rights, loss of dignity. What about the human rights of people who have walked kilometers and kilometers and who are still walking now when this lockdown
Exactly.
comes in? And I've seen hordes of them walking
Again,
and dying.
repeating
What
it.
about that? Repeating it again,
And straight
people
away-
are dying. What about
straight away the
laws?
buildings-
Yes,
The buildings are
absolutely.
going
Cyrus,
berserk and shutting the gates and throwing people out.
Buildings are shutting the gates. Buildings have become empires, state governments on their own. I have had an experience, at least I don't know about Bombay, but here in North, there are some people who say, "आप allowed ही नहीं हो." अरे, I said, "मैं allowed नहीं हूँ. I have my COVID test with me. I have my report with me. Why am I being stopped from just going and delivering something downstairs to someone?" They have become almighty on their own. Janta curfew is separate. Janta in self Janta curfew is another different thing that buildings are doing now.
Building governments are, as you said, even more fascists.
They're fascists.
Worse. And out of more fear, of course.
Of course.
And they've abused the power. What we call the building vigilante. Now it's become a famous phrase. The WhatsApp uncle who's going mad, warning everybody and telling you, advising you all the time. But the problem is never good-natured advice. The problem is that the male ego comes into it. They talk down to you, you talk back to them, and then the fight starts.
Yes.
So what people have to understand is, you're not my father. I have only one father. And in an egalitarian society, talk to me. But what we call tamiz, talk nicely, talk normally, and we can talk about anything. But if you come down with your finger pointing and telling me कि ये करेगा वो करेगा तेरे को जेल में डालेगा, then how does that end well? It's never going to end well.
It does not, Cyrus, and that's another thing which people need to realize. Now, I'll again say something which might sound not correct,
Controversial?
but how is it? Yes, of course, it's going to be very controversial. Since I think I already have a cell which is following me on Instagram. I've given enough hints trying to track my posts, but I'm going to talk something which is on human grounds as well. How is it, at least in some parts of northern India, in some societies, there is a rule that house help needs to be tracked, okay? And they have to, while entering and going out, from a theft basis, I understand, from a security basis, I understand, but from a health perspective, how are they told that mandatorily you have to have these kind of medications, only then I will allow you inside the society? Whereas my 4th floor or 5th floor resident can just sit on the floor and roam around and not wear a mask just because he owns a couple of cars and lives in a fancy building, that he is allowed to flout these rules. Now, that is the problem with this vigilante behavior, where one feels that because somebody does not have a social status, the vigilantes can question them. And on
but
the
that's
other
a commentary
hand,
on us
someone who does have
Indians कि गरीबों के पास ये सब है, and गरीबों are more under suspicion. If गरीब है तो you must suspect them more. If Amir hai, then you must suspect them less. That's in our DNA. We can't stop. This is an obvious way of thinking where people don't even know they're thinking like that. You see, this is the whole idea of anti-immigrants that happened, and throwing them out is that based on that class.
Yes.
They are dirtier than us, they are poorer than us, and they will cause the trouble. They are all idiots. They are the co-idiots. They don't understand. वो पढ़ाई लिखाई नहीं है, वो कानून का कुछ समझदारी नहीं है, कानून का समझदारी नहीं है. They probably know more about the law than you and I. Not you are a professional. I'm just saying generally.
Yes. It's surprising, Cyrus, how they don't have. It's surprisingly domestic help is safe and does not spread COVID. Whereas as I said, my 4th floor resident friend is a super spreader because he's not even aware of what needs to be done. So the problem with law is this.
No, I'm saying the irony here is COVID for India, especially, is a rich man's disease. कहाँ से आ गया? Where did it come? It was not some labor class guy who got it. It came from rich people on planes who came in from, the East and Europe. That's where it came from.
Exactly.
So we brought it. People of my bloody background and your bloody background are fully responsible. Nobody else.
No, and that's the problem, Cyrus. Now, how law comes into play, this is first sign where equality is not followed. Before you even go to cops or district administration in your society or in your building, I would request citizens to enforce equality in terms of imposing the so-called self-dictatorial or draconian laws to stop COVID from spreading, because I think that is another way of looking at how things are. It's very mismanaged, very sad how things are. By the way, as per law, no society, RWA, has statutory authority to curb someone's movements or rights if it's not falling in the path of causing harm or danger to someone, except when it's been approved.
This is the point I want to ask you. This diktats that come from the building, from building people का दिखता है, building vigilante, whatever you call them.
Sir.
They just make the rule
Yes.
on the spot कि अब what's it called, upsurge है, upsurge के time पे keep the gate shut and don't let anybody in or out without a certificate. One building WhatsApp started like this, and I was just like ridiculous. We can't have that kind of mentality because it'll, it's like a prison, full prison, and it's not the right way to.
Cyrus, the idea with that, even from stopping people from coming in and going, I will, as you said, na, that it's आपने rule बनाया, that's fair enough a rule, but it should have equal enforcement even for people. How is it that Cyrus is allowed to go and shop in the market for his daily needs, or Amber is allowed to go and shop for his daily needs in his car, and then he's allowed inside, and a stranger is as susceptible to making everybody fall ill who's coming in to make a delivery? Either it should be a complete blanket ban on residents not moving in and out, and it cannot be such that, right, that Amber is allowed to take his car, go to court and come back, and he will not spread any virus. And how is it that a delivery boy will come and spread and spoil the sanctity of the society? It has to be equal for everyone. If it is a rule which says that nobody can enter and no one can exit, if it's a by rule you've made for the safety of the society, it should apply equally to everyone. Then how will you have supply of water? How will you have supply of milk? How can you have blanket ban? And how will you trace everybody?
Correct. And Amber is so hypocritical because those who are on the side, the draconian side, they switch immediately when their own nephew is coming over, when their own chachi has to be taken in.
Yes.
Suddenly they switch because it's a personal issue. So their philosophy is completely flexible. As you said, put a blanket ban. If you put a blanket ban, all is equal under the eyes of this blanket ban, then screw it, we are stuck. But if you don't put a blanket ban, then you can't keep pointing fingers. It's ridiculous, yaar, as you said.
14, 15, 16-year-olds, Cyrus, as law says, are cycling around in our society, and I have a decent crowd, educated crowd who stays here. But the moment a biker comes to deliver a piece of bread, it becomes suddenly terrorism.
Danger.
He's come from Afghanistan. He's going to blow up the society. The funny part of things is, how can you have that for him?
And of course, the biker is from the Garib society, from the lower economic strata. And immediately you put the correlation in the minds of all the middle class India, where you look at everybody and say, okay, but poorer person, more chance of COVID, more danger. They live all together, 50 people in one room, and all these things that we have in our head. It's true, isn't it?
Yes, and despite that, they have immunity.
It's too complex, this country.
But they have immunity, Cyrus, right? All of them. Did you see the labor who walked back actually never suffered the COVID crisis as the so-called educated ones who used UV rays, UV boxes and whatnot to kill stuff? God forbid, your neighbor dies of COVID, but your immigrant dies of hunger. So in the end of the day, we all die. Yes, the immigrant dies.
And the futility of all this.
What about the farmers who are protesting and were sitting?
They pushed
None of them COVID immune.
We are not allowed to talk about that because it's a democracy where they tell you what you can talk about. There's certain stuff you cannot talk about. That's the law. But it's a democracy, so we have to continue this way. But just remember, A, nahi, B, nahi, C, nahi. D, we can talk about D. It's like that.
So I don't know.
I've become very cynical in the last 1 year.
On the constitutional part, I wanted to ask you from a law perspective, what do you think is after this lockdown, is the Kumbh Mela justified or religious gathering of any nature
come on,
justified
Amber.
in India under constitutional
Amber,
law?
nobody. It took the Prime Minister till yesterday to say something, and that too, I think, because of foreign pressure. Which is where he's more, he wants his legacy abroad to be remembered, and finally said something. But how can the same politicians who are telling Amber and Cyrus to wash their hands and keep social distance and wear the mask and don't leave the house, and now in Maharashtra they've started the jigsaw puzzles of red color, green color, blue color on your car like an idiot, more harassment for us. These same guys say nothing to 28 lakh men having a bath together, Shahi Snan as it's called on Monday, 28 lakh, 28 lakh, okay, not 10 people, 28 lakh, and 32 plus on Tuesday gathering.
Yes.
I mean, what the whole world is like, is this a comedy show? Are they just superior immunity that we have now discovered in Indians? Because otherwise it makes no sense.
It makes no sense. And that's what the constitutional validity I want to talk about, that it should have been equal amongst equals. And
no one has spoken up. Which member of parliament has spoken up?
No one has. And the agenda was this only, that, how are we telling them that they're not super spreaders? Any case, that's again, I take it in this way that constitution applies equally. So if someone questions your rights, you do have the right to, at least have a legal standpoint of view. I mean, so have that. Know your constitutional rights. If you all start exercising them, nobody will suppress us the way we are suppressed, Cyrus. That's the problem.
Yeah, but also the personality thing here, Amber. I think, you're quite a charming guy. I've seen you at work. Your 4G connection was driving the bike in front of you. When he started talking to you, what was ye muh khol, face dikha, whatever, your reaction was in a more comic, funny way. Your satire was acceptable. I get a little aggressive. I'm more Delhi and you're more Mumbai in that sense. So what happens is it escalates very fast because I'm also trying to be funny, but it's more aggressive, my body language. And then what happens is it escalates very quickly because they are not there to help you. They are there. The thinking in third world countries, it seems, or maybe police all over the world, is ki pakro, isko pakadne ka. That's the mindset. It's not like about, bro, can I help you? There's so much shit happening in India. Let me help you.
Yeah. Yeah. The Cyrus, the funny one is, I don't know if you've seen the speed camera concept in India. I don't know if you've been encountered with the speed camera concept. And मैंने महाराष्ट्र में नहीं अभी मैंने नहीं देखा. I don't know. So the idea of speed camera in India is they will hide. The idea is you are supposed to know the speed. Nobody will display it. What is the speed? You are supposed to know the speed while you are driving. If you don't, then they will catch you. So once what happened, I was overtaking a truck somewhere, and of course I had a challan. I was overtaking, accelerated, went up by 10 kilometers per hour, and I knew. I mean, I went from 90 to 100 somewhere on a highway, and there was a car which was parked in a very slanting way behind some plant or tree. I don't know. So I knew they would be hiding somewhere there only, and I got a challan and I stopped and I said, well, I'm sorry, I accelerated and I went overboard by 10 kilometers per hour and I'm really sorry, can I have the challan? He's like, but weren't you supposed to know that this is a 100 zone? I said, of course, I knew this is a 100 zone and I just happened to accelerate a little more. Sorry, 90 zone, I accelerated a little more. Now what? He's like, now I'll impound your car. I said, there is a challan. You can give me the challan. I'll go to the court and dispute the challan. Stop impounding my car, first of all. He's like, no, but you're showing me anger. I said, I'm not showing you anger. I've been driving for 7 hours. I am a little aggrieved. It's better that you give me a pauti or whatever challan. I'll go to the court and dispute it if I have to. That's my legal right, right? So at that point of time, he did agree. I mean, I told him, I said, I am a lawyer, sir. I know my rights. I'm not violating. I'm not misbehaving with you. But can you give the challan? Now, the idea is, had I given him my car, had I given him the keys, it would have taken me forever to continue with that argument. And legally speaking, I wasn't entitled to, stop, wait, and suffer the consequences of that discussion of overspeeding and getting into personal remarks and getting into personal fights and being told that I'm a lousy fellow. I don't need admonishment from somebody who's just behind a uniform and he admonishes me just because he's donning a uniform, right? So speed cams, especially in Gurgaon, if you come next, they are hidden under underpasses. So they don't cut your challan if you're coming from the front. They'll cut your challan because now the infrared works from behind. So if you have sped if you're at 50 or 60, the moment you cross the flyover, they're behind you. They're not in front so that you feel you've crossed them, but you haven't. Now, the golden rule of having speed cameras in place globally is they must display 100, 200 meters before speed cameras ahead so that you monitor your speeds and do not violate. There is
in Dubai, you can see the sign.
Yes, the idea globally is that it should be written. So in India is the law, but in India you will find 10 speed signs on one highway. One says 100, one says 90, one says 70. You don't know which one to follow at what path. So then you end up getting those challans. So my idea is at least know the basics. Sorry, Cyrus. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I get your point. Your point is perfect, which is they're trying to catch you. They're not trying to deter you. It should work as a deterrent. Again, that is the right word. Yes. And hence you're saying कि picture है वहीं पे, और side पे picture है, फिर warning भी है, second warning भी है, third warning है. And then if you're such a complete marquee, you know what, that you have to break it after 5 warnings, then he wins. We pay the damn challan because he wins. But here, as you said, it's hidden under one bush and then they shoot you from behind. So there's no way you know. I mean, that's just nonsense because the whole idea is how to make money then. It's a money scam.
And, coming back from this challan thing, as you were talking about the lockdown, tell me something, the commodities sector in India, I mean, catching of cops and catching of all of this, the commodity sector, suddenly I saw a row of shops who opened up, essential shops. And I mean, I understand they faltered on getting the exemption permit quickly or I don't know, what not to run the service. Suddenly a cop man pulls up and there are hefty challans and fines being issued then and there. And I can assure you there are 100 people walking on the streets without their masks or not touching, not following social distancing norms. Unka kuch nahi hai. It's just this lockdown does not justify. The way I see things is essential commodity wale ka kya? What about him? Because he's actually procuring and supplying to you. What about the guy who's on a cycle selling ice cream? How is he justified to legally have, because a lockdown is to, of course, it's there to solve the greater good, but there has to be some concept of equality. This is not a national emergency right now. So I want to
Amber, we
understand
did
that.
it. We tried it. I'll stick to Maharashtra for now. I don't want to talk all India because I feel Delhi has been better with this than we have, and I'm a big Kejriwal
Yeah,
fan. So I'll
sort
leave that
of.
aside for now.
Yes, sort of.
But I'll come back to Mumbai and Maharashtra, and I'll say, Nick, definitely you're living more there, so you're not being affected as much as we are here.
Yeah,
This is the second lockdown they want to do
yeah,
right now. That's going
yeah.
on. Ek baar to ho gaya. Once was enough. Okay, the whole idea of that lockdown was we were not prepared for infrastructure, for hospitalization, for cases, for beds, for medication, for vaccine. Now we have everything. Okay, we're running out of it. I understand all that, but there's no point also crippling us from the other side. You talk about the ice cream guy. Ice cream guy का क्या गलती है? It's not an essential according to you and everybody else. But what the
Yes.
hell? That's his livelihood. You might as well shoot him. Let's start shooting people. I had to
There,
buy a gym equipment from
there,
one guy because he had to close in 6 months.
yeah.
He couldn't sustain. He's a small guy, taking loans and all. You know, I mean, he can't. So these are crimes. These are crimes that all small entrepreneurs, middle level guys are finished financially
Yes.
and their dreams are burnt completely. These are crimes. So I'm fighting for those guys. I'm fighting for all those people across the world who are willing to stand up, wear the bloody mask, go to work, and make some money for their family and survive. You're not giving them a chance. You've decided. You can't. Is
Yeah,
the government going to pay like they do in Western Europe? Are they going to give us 50-60% of our income? The ice cream guy will get
no,
paid for sitting at home. Usko ice cream खिलाएगा
you
कोई?
know,
हाथ से खिलाएगा government? Tell me, sir. Tell
idea was this.
me.
That was the idea, Cyrus. So I keep we've had discussions so many times on Canada, right? Canada was paying literally $1,500 to $1,800 for people to just stay indoors.
There you go.
Imagine paying $1 lakh a month for just staying indoors, and the rent was also being paid for. Now I understand those people don't want to venture out. Still, they could not stop COVID. So my idea is this: still they could not stop it, though, despite being so. It's a disease. It will spread. The idea is to when you differentiate between law and social stigma and these issues. Having draconian laws does not solve problem in any case. It's a world over situation.
Exactly.
You can't stop people. Just, I think, awareness and equal application. I'll give another example. I don't know if you've taken the vaccine or not, but people who go stand in the queues for vaccines, you should have seen the social distancing norms for them. Oh, you're vaccinated. So Cyrus is a sensible citizen who's vaccinated himself.
और मैं मास्क निकाल के घूमने के लिए जाता है अभी. That's what I heard. That's what I heard, Amber. Sorry to cut you for a second.
Yeah.
I heard that in the line. One guy telling the other guy कि यार अभी तो हो चुका है ना, मास्क निकाल के घूमने के लिए जाता है मैं. And he wasn't laughing. He was saying
It's
it like,
shocking. That's the problem. It's like you've given him the power
I
to
don't know
just
where to
be.
start.
It's just the power to throw the mask away and then roam around. That is the problem. That is why we have draconian laws in India, because people don't get sense enough to realize what the actions are doing. Everybody was partying in Delhi up till 2 months back when there were 1,000 cases. I understand it's freedom of movement, but what about precautions? What about maintaining the social norms? Nothing. So now you have 26. We've had 26,000 cases in North India, and it's very sad. And that's why you will have to put a lockdown again, because people will not stop venturing out and following the procedures. I say the so-called procedures to keep yourself safe and everyone else safe. That's the idea. So I feel that's why the building vigilantes come into picture, because they take it upon themselves that I will stop this. This inherent, because the idea, Cyrus, in India is the as you said, we again going back to the same point you started with, knowledge of law and knowledge of rights is such a farce concept in my head. I feel if I think of something, I'm right. And that is why I will enforce it on 100 people and they have to make believe or live with it. Otherwise, there will be repercussions. And that's why you have building vigilantes. Now I want you to narrate one example of a building vigilante. At least you've had a haggling experience with, or you've argued with him on something. Then I'll narrate another one for you. I think that's how I want to educate my listeners about the law point there.
towards end May last year,
Yeah.
in my lane, out of sheer boredom, and keep in mind कि May 18-19 से चालू हुआ, so almost March से चालू हुआ, so 2 full months have passed of doing nothing, bored, irritated.
Yeah.
Some of us used to meet in the lane, 3-4 boys, and we play badminton,
Right.
from a little distance. Crappy badminton just to kill time.
Yes.
This
of
one
course.
uncle comes down and says, "Beta, ये सब बंद करो. अभी drone वोन चालू है ऊपर. Police are watching you. They will come and arrest you for playing badminton." And now maybe we shouldn't have been playing badminton, but we were trying to maintain some sort of social distance. But it's just the attitude when he comes and talks to you like that. So obviously, we start laughing at him. Because it just sounded exactly how you laughed for a second. It just sounded a little ridiculous. It's worse than Nazi Germany. You play badminton, you'll be put in concentration
Badminton.
camp. Yeah. So it's just that they suddenly have this validation in their life ki I'll keep correcting people. And then they're not coming from a happy space where they're trying to
Yes.
do it in a
They're trying
way
to,
where it's
they're
constructive
frustrated.
and so then it just it becomes into male ego battles, or generation gap battles or whatever you want to call it. And they sound frustrated, angry, and we just make fun of them all the time, at least behind their backs. So I think the communication is the key, and the communication is horrible.
By the
And this is
way,
to do with our
I
personalities.
think Uncle was right on two fronts. I'll tell you what. The one was that drones in China do come and trace you if you venture out of your home. So this has happened with one of my cousins. They tried to walk on the street during the
In
lockdown
China,
in China, and the drone came, and the police came within 45 seconds. So I'll introduce my cousin there also. It's very funny. You'll not believe they're one
what
of
did they do? They made him go
the
back in.
top leading doctors. No, yeah, yes. The cops came and told him move back, and she's like a leading dentist in China and for expats and stuff with the embassy and all. And her husband is a big CEO handling something in PR marketing and all. And imagine they just walked 20 meters out of their building. They stay in CBD in Shanghai. They just walked there, and the drone came, and I don't know how the cops saw her, and they came and told her move back inside. So I understand China has draconian laws and they have means to deal with it, but
And we
India is a
want Mumbai to
democracy,
look like
right?
Beijing anyway, last 30 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So Uncle was hallucinating and knowing that there is a drone somewhere out there looking at eye in the sky.
He
That's
must
what
have just come
Cyrus.
back from Shanghai. Huh. Huh.
So that happened there, right? So this basically, again, for everybody out there, the building vigilante thing, the RWA is a body to facilitate smooth functioning of society. It does not have statutory authority of law to impact your constitutional rights, your bodily rights, your personal privacy rights at all costs until and unless you are in some kind of behavior or action that is violating or keeping people in danger. Now, definition of danger again differs from human being to human being, but I am talking about a reasonable man who's expected to do reasonable stuff out of his daily operations. So there is a concept of reasonability in Indian law as well. We are not at, I mean, people were more sensible in the 1971 war with Bangladesh and Pakistan. At that time, they realized reasonability that the senior Indian citizens, as we are right now. So please, guys, be reasonable and building vigilantes. Please do not become courts and start doing that. And on that front, Cyrus, we have very interesting take, right? With our another Cyrus friend who has been succumbing, I think, to building vigilantes,
He's
stopping his
he's
tenants.
sorry, Amber. I'll just give a little bit of thing on this preamble, and that is that he keep in mind Saukar, Cyrus Saukar, comedian, actor, singer, dancer, basically 6 foot 2.5 inches of no muscle,
Yes.
but very talented. He lives in Mumbai, and he like all you guys who come from some other city and live here, they have to deal with another culture, which is the either the building board or some hostile neighbors, committee members, or the manager. Okay, so his life has always had these problems, and now he was just now. I think you can take it forward and explain what it is.
I'll take it forward. So, very interestingly, between the two Cyruses, Mr. Cyrus Saukar, I mean, I had a convo with him and we were discussing, and he said, well, Cyrus would be able to put it better. Now, guess who Cyrus and which Cyrus am I talking about? So, nonetheless, so they, Cyrus Saukar told me that, I mean, he owns an apartment in a building somewhere in some posh part of Bombay, and his tenants were to move in, and there are requirements of deeds and certain documentation before they move in. And one vigilante, male vigilante, Batman of the society, he thought that, if the following procedure is not followed, the owner does not have the right for tenants to move in. And on that pretext, I'll cut it short even by saying that he, the vigilante recorded the tenant moving in, the vigilante recorded the vehicle that came in and helped him move. And there were certain permissions and NOCs, etc., from the cops which were required, which were provided by Cyrus and sent by post, I don't know, by digital media, etc. But Batman refused to accept the Joker's documents, as I speak in coded language, and said, no, you have violated the laws. I will not entertain you, and started harassing him on different levels. The point where it gets very funny is where he's paying rent for parking, for his own parking, because I don't know what concept that has in Mumbai. I've never heard of this, but he's paying rent for his parking for the past 15 odd years for it being non-occupied, I believe so. And the tenant wanted to use the parking, wanted to park his car, but Batman said, no, Gotham City is his own. Nobody can park the car in the parking, and the tenant had to suffer because of such kind of funny business. Now Now, Cyrus, I'll put it to you. First, as a layman, you have to tell me, what do you understand of it as a, so because you have fair amount of experience about different areas of life. I want to understand from you, what do you think legally? Then I'll talk about the legal stuff on it.
We have tenants in the building. We have tenants in another building which I visited a lot, for example. And the tenants have a contract with the owner.
Right.
They then become the owner.
Right.
For that limited period of time. And inclusive of that, he's paying for garage charges, whatever you want to call it, parking charges. That translates into his tenant getting it.
Right.
That's all part of the deal.
Right.
I just, it makes no sense legally. I may be wrong, but it makes no sense to me that once you've sublet it to one guy, that guy takes over. He becomes you for that, say, 9 months or 1 year period. And then he uses it like you would use it.
Yes.
That the only difference is the body has changed, but everything else is the same.
Yes.
He's using the flat.
Right.
He's using the rooms in the flat. He's using the garden. He's doing pull-ups on that one thing that all things have in societies, in the garden, the monkey bar thing. And he's using the parking. Why will he not use the parking? He's got a job. He has to go to work. Everybody needs a parking. Why would he not use it?
Yes, absolutely put on by you.
So it makes no...
Yes, absolutely. When this comes to me, and I don't know what Bombay has very funny laws, and I'm going to talk about my wife's experience as well, apart from this, because this is the second or third time I'm hearing this, right? Before that, Antriksh, can you play the video from which we got from Cyrus, just for a second for everybody?
And let's warn our viewers, this is a very hurt, unhappy man. It's graphic footage. If you're not an adult, please make sure that your parents both are sitting with you when you watch this. This is a very sad, beaten, battered Cyrus Saukar. He cannot take it anymore.
Hey guys, Cyrus and Amber, thank you so much for helping me out here. I have a few questions. I've already run you through the predicament I am in. I feel a lot of people are going through this drama. I was renting out an apartment in Khar, and I was told by the society that only 11-month agreements are allowed. I want to know if that's right or wrong. Does the society have the permission to deny parking for a tenant when the owner has 2 car parks assigned by the society, and where all we have asked for is parking anywhere in the building, and there are 6 car parkings available? Does the chairman and secretary have the right to cut all communication and deny communication sent by a society member? I sent him a speed post and it was denied by him. So how do I communicate with this guy when I've sent in my leave and license agreement and my police verification to him? Which is the law that states that without an NOC you cannot go into a leave and license agreement, where every bylaw I have read states that you're supposed to intimate the society and then you're supposed to get a police verification done and a leave and license agreement, both which are done. And second is it illegal for me to move any form of bags or things into my house? Because they said you have moved things into your apartment without an NOC. First of all, my tenant was not living there. I was moving bags. Why do I need the permission of the society to move a bag into my own house or bags into my own house? Where is that legal?
Oh, lots of subtext, Amber, which I hope you remember everything, because some are not so much to do with the main case.
No, so Cyrus, let's discuss
what do you want to take first?
Bags in and out, right? I will dispute the title. So when you pay a few lakhs or crores or XYZ amount, you pay to secure the ownership and title of that, piece and furniture and those mortar and bricks to call it a home. As per law, once you paid that, you are allowed to move bags in and out as you would wish, right? Because sometimes your relatives can come, they can drop in bags, they can drop off bags. He's fully authorized to drop in, drop out bags of anybody he wants. Nobody, I think, I'm not aware of such laws. Maybe I'm not.
It's a ridiculous issue, yaar.
Yeah, you cannot have people say that you cannot move bags in and bags out, number one. So I do not feel that there is a right to physical restraint of movement of stuff in and out of the society by the owner himself. All right. If it's a tenant who's moving out secretly from the society, then a NOC, of course, is needed from a society because of security purposes, because of securing the owner from a quietly, from a surreptitious tenant who might just move out quietly without informing the owner, and the owner is not present there. So you require a NOC for that. Now, NOC for moving in. There is no statutory law on that NOCs have to be provided. It must have been a local agreement between a bunch of owners of the apartments that, let's have a NOC concept. I'm fine with that. You can provide the NOC, but that NOC is not the law of the land in India. Yes, that, if you don't have NOC, there is nobody who can enter and stay here. There can be delayed procedures on the same. Police clearance as well. In Cyrus's case, he's done all of that. I know of that, including the police clearance and approval. That is also one of the conditions to satisfy, but it nowhere says that tenancy has to have these conditions in place constitutionally or legally speaking to be able to put a tenant into your own apartment which you own. All right. All of this is very minor, and at a procedural level, it has got no legal status as far as you violating any kind of laws. Rather, it is harassment to a tenant, which is happening to the contrary, rather than abiding by society rules. Abiding by society rules means that you live like a human being. You don't become a monkey at night. You don't disturb people after 7, 8 p.m. in the evening. You do not destroy the walls. You do not. You're ethical. You are sensible. You have abided by these minor approvals to facilitate the living easier.
You don't pee from your flat.
Yes.
Outside.
Yes. I mean, you don't start a frat party or a undergrad party. Yes. You don't smoke. You can smoke weed as long as the smoke does not go out. Oh my God. As a lawyer, I cannot say that on this show, but you can do whatever the hell you want.
Go to the Kumbh Mela.
Yeah.
Go to the Kumbh Mela.
You can do all of this as long as you do not disturb anybody's peace. Now, I'll talk about tenancy rights, which will answer a few questions, and I'll not go into what building laws have been, etc., because I'm not apprised of that building and I've not seen the bylaws. But again, I said bylaws are to make the living easier and nothing else, right? Tenancy law means a tenant will have 100% rights as that of a owner when he gets into tenancy, all right, except for the right of ownership, of course, or the title of the property that you have. Apart from that, he will enjoy the same status as that of an owner. All right. There are exceptions in some societies where they say that, we will not give you a parking because you are, XYZ tenant and you have to pay a certain rental to occupy that parking, which the owner has an arrangement with. That's illegal. That is bullshit. There is no law which says the tenant has to pay for parking. That's between owner and tenant. No society can tell you. And this is very common in Bombay, where societies tell people कि आपको owner के behalf पे rental देना है, या owner is taking a rental from you for his parking which is allotted to him. And this used to happen to my wife, and I had a huge fight and emails were slogged, and I said, go F yourself and let's see what you do. But I'll tell you why I'm talking about this example. Number one rule: parking, when you have paid a monthly rent, you are entitled to have all amenic and civil facilities which are your right as a tenant. They cannot stop you from that. You're paying for that. You're not paying for parking on roads where there is insecurity to your vehicle. So please approach a consumer court and screw the guy who feels that he knows the law better than you do. Do not feel that this is the law of the land, the gentleman has professed that you cannot park. Secondly, when you pay rent, as Cyrus is paying rent for his parking, 15,000 odd rupees per month, he told me, I'm naming it on the show, there is an established right to whether a rat parks his vehicle on approval from Cyrus, or a crow parks, or an animal parks, or any human being or an alien parks his vehicle, as long as that vehicle is not causing a disruption to society or to any other individual in his daily routine. That is the number two rule here. There is no other rule I would say of, unless I have been apprised of a statutory rule to that effect. No, there is not. RW
So
they can't do this.
They can't make up their own rules, basically. Amber.
Even if they make up these
can't
rules,
just
they cannot be unconstitutional. See, my idea is, Cyrus, when I pay, let's say if I pay you 2 rupees a month and I want to come and stay in your apartment, what am I entitled to? I am not an animal that you've bought in a zoo that who has to live by just because you have decided that, this animal must stay in the confined premises. As a tenant, I have certain basic rights, as you are saying, right? So there is no rule as such. The rules have been made to set, these are bylaws. Bylaws do not have the effect of laws. They are there to simplify functioning of a organized, civilized society. That's all, nothing beyond that.
I think it's very simple. And parking is a huge premium here in India, especially in places like Mumbai.
Mumbai.
So they are always looking for some way to
make money
take out your parking and exactly. So they very creatively come up with these things. कि tenant के पास parking कैसा हो सकता है? What do you mean?
That's what.
You've sublet it to him with all the facilities.
That's what.
In a gated community, if you give it out to a gated community in Naya building, you can't tell the tenant not to use the swimming pool.
Yes,
What the hell?
exactly.
He's got the same facilities as you.
Yes.
He's paid good money for that and he has to follow it.
No. And this is what? Swimming pool, gyms, you give full access to those things, but you deny a parking. How is that connected to anything? How does one travel? How does he park on the road? If his car is picked up or if there is theft or burglary, who will deal with it. So these are
So how can you deny the parking? Because that is the right of the owner, and the owner has transferred his rights to somebody else. That's it.
Then in that case, I will give you another law. Then there has to be a rent. There is a Rent Control Act. Of course, I'm not going to talk about it in detail. It's going to eat up our whole day and your day also.
Yeah, I
If
would go
I
for
talk
lunch,
about
yeah.
the Rent Control Act,
It's a
then
lockdown.
in
I have to
that
go to
case, you
restaurant for
cannot
lunch.
have. Yeah, there cannot be. There cannot be obnoxious rentals. You can't charge someone 4 lakhs a month because you decided that my place is subjugated to this. Then you should follow the ground law on the circle rate and decide by following a formula under the Rental Act that this is the amount of rent you should be paying if you are so law abiding in how the rent should be reduced to. My whole idea is there are some societies which say that there are bylaws in place, but bylaws cannot violate your constitutional rights in any way, and you have the right to dispute. People don't dispute. I'll give you a classic example of my wife Hasleen when it happened to her. She was parking her vehicle in her society somewhere in Andheri, an upcoming society. A lot of actors used to stay there, Cyrus. So I used to feel it will be emancipated, but it was not. What used to happen to the contrary was the guys were doing some building repairing work, so they would tell her to park her vehicle somewhere else in the society till the building repair works going on. One fine day, I find a huge stone fell from the building and smashed the window of her car. And then she called up me and said, what, this is what's happened, and what do I do now? I said, did they tell you to park there? She's like, yes, they asked me to park there. Now what do you do? So I wrote an official email saying that, can you please pay the 10K which is required to be paid? Suddenly all kinds of agents came into picture and started to pacify me and pacify Hasleen. Arey, hum aapko 10,000 de denge, complaint mat karo, don't go into the law section. I said, but you asked her to remove her car from the parking and park it at a place where construction work was going on. And it was your construction work and patthar fell. Then it became an ego, as you say, vigilantes came in and said, this girl did not park properly, the car was not at this degree. So
she angled it so the patthar will fall exactly on the kidney. She's scientifically done this as an experiment.
Yes. She wanted to damage her own car, and so I asked for CCTV footage, and it went to a level where we said we'll file a consumer dispute, and I said you can take it up there. But then the idea was, because on some point I was talking to them about law and what they can do, they took a back foot on and they tried to subdue it. But what about the common man? If I am so busy in my life that I don't have time for this nonsense, to be harassed, forget the cops, I'm talking about these vigilantes, the so-called cow building, I don't know how many vigilantes we have. So this gentleman coming and harassing somebody who's working alone and does not have time for this, they will have to succumb to this, right? What do you do about it? Because you're not taking illegal action. So there is no bylaw that can stop a tenant from using a parking within the marked premises of any building or any apartment, for that matter of fact. That's a law of the land. They cannot say you cannot park.
So Saukar should now drive naked with his tenant and park there and remain there naked in the car.
Sleep in the car naked, till the time he's got tinted windows, I would say.
Because that's also a protest symbol, which they'll remember forever. But just quickly, so what happened with your wife and you in the end?
So they paid 10,000.
You made them,
of course,
and they apologized.
Yes, no, they did not apologize. They threatened that, you cannot do this. So I said, well, you know what, if you want to threaten me, I've got other means to threaten you. Don't become gundas. You guys are civilized, retired human beings who want to follow their retired lives. So it's on a lighter part of things. If you have to be a rebel, join Che Guevara, go to Cuba, fight, take up arms, support communism, go to Naxalite, become something. Don't do this, because when the moment someone in uniform will come through that door, whether it's a cop or a court clerk, you will shit your pants. Don't do that. It's very easy.
Don't send them so far. I'm starting an anti-lockdown movement, so they can just join me. Now we are not looking for weapons, but you know how these things escalate, yaar.
That's how they talk to you. I will see to it that once in force, then it becomes like the Wehrmacht of Germany. It's the almighty army comes into picture. One uncle supports the other becomes, it's a chain of command. And when they are doing it, nobody questions, And so I happen to tell Hasleen that, don't get into this nonsense.
If a boulder from construction work hit the car of a young lady who could have been in the car, if you went to court, from my limited knowledge, they would be in so much trouble. Because on so many levels, their permissions would have been questioned, checked. And believe me, in Mumbai, nobody gets all their permissions in place.
Nobody gets all the permissions in place.
Much worse for them than but of course, it will take a long time to go through all that.
Yes, people should know this. You have to send legal stuff across. It's not a hassle. It's your right. If you don't, so what happens is it becomes it happens to 5 people and 5 people agree to live with it. It becomes an established established principle. It's a reinforcement of beliefs of those vigilantes that this is the way to go about.
The bully gets stronger.
Yes, the bully gets
What
stronger.
you're doing is making the bully.
See,
Like in Saukar's case, it's one or two guys, I think, in the building. It's not the whole committee.
No. There are
one guy
there are two
basically
gentlemen who are acting very fancy.
Two gentlemen
Yes.
who are
Batman
playing the
and
Amjad
Robin,
Khan
yeah.
characters from the 80s.
Yeah. Batman and Robin.
McMahon and Amjad Khan characters are being played.
That's what the problem is, and this is not allowed at all. And as far as the Lehman license is concerned, let me tell you. So as per law, you would have read there has to be a registered agreement in place. There has to be things, but that's up to the owner also, Cyrus. It's not I can choose to keep somebody without getting my license agreement registered, but I have to bear the consequences. Then, in case of something goes off, police will hold me accountable. If I'm willing to take those consequences on me, I can have an agreement for 5 months also. Well, I'll tell you something about Bombay, something very interesting. You'll faint on it. There is a society I know of, and I had a legal matter there. It is shocking. They were evicting tenants who were staying in lockdown to make space for beds for COVID patients in the society, or people who had accompanied COVID patients to come and stay as a holiday home for 3 months or 4 months, and that's the tenancy that was flowing, and they were charging obnoxious amounts from those guys. So they were evicting tenants who have been living there for years on some ground or the other.
Tenants.
Yes, to accommodate these temporary guys to make money. So for Christ's sake, when they talk about law, they talk about emancipation and crap and all of this, that you're violating this, it is bullshit. What happened to tenancy back then? What happened to tenancy during COVID times? I mean, there are so many questions where High Court has said that nothing will take over. When tenants had to suffer because the force majeure clause, etc., so many things in India we don't understand them. They have no value. And I have had a very dear friend who's a celebrity trainer. He's gone through this. I think Cyrus knows him also, but I'll not name him. But he's gone through this. So he had to go through a commercial lease. Cyrus, I'll name him. It's Shivoham Bhatt. He's Frankie Ramdayal from Kalhona Ho. He's a good friend of mine. I mean, he had taken a premises on lease, and lockdown came into picture, and the High Court ruled against overall the lobby of tenants, saying that this force majeure clause does not cover pandemic and epidemics and diseases. The law has not been interpreted correctly, which is true, because in India we never bothered to look at contracts. We just put a clause thinking that it's the standard clause and let's put it. And he ended up losing so much of money, right? That's a violation of law. A parking lot, etc., is a violation of your human rights. You cannot let someone trample you for reasons where you're paying money. You are not in a hotel on a temporary accommodation where the hotel premises will tell you, "Saab, yahan gaadi nahi laga sakte aap." This is your inherent right as a title holder. So Sahukar, please park your car wherever you want to and send a legal notice.
Let's end with the line that Sahukar told me in the trailer. We were shooting something a week back before this lockdown happened, and his line was, "Both ho gaya yaar. After all, they should remember one thing. Ultimately, I am from Delhi." Well, I thought that veiled threat was perfect. I said you should tell uncle that.
Absolutely, Cyrus. I think Delhi se hoon main.
Delhi se hoon main. Jante ho mera baap kaun hai, and take off.
Mera baap kaun hai, I will destroy. And Cyrus, before we close, you still have to talk about the VIP culture and the traffic, even during lockdown.
Oh God, yeah. And just now on the lockdown Saturday, you can see there's no traffic on the road, but they're still clearing cars to let these 17 cars go in one go. My question to you, because I live in the area, I live in Malabar Hills, so I'm stuck right next to them. I suffer this. We suffer this all the time. Why do they have to stop us to let these cars go ahead? I don't understand that. Why do they? And this is not just Mumbai. This happens in Delhi.
Across India. Delhi is
across
like
India,
Delhi used to wait for hours only altogether because you lost your human rights.
But that's what I'm saying. Why do we allow this? Because I remember the Prime Minister talking about VIP culture has to be destroyed, and the great Arnab himself, the man who makes all the laws in India, he said that end to VIP, Lal Batti culture will be shut down and all that. But it's very much there, and every time you're just sitting there like helpless. You start feeling like in a fascist country. You're sitting there and waiting.
Yeah, you're waiting in your car, and then there's a bunch of cars that always pass
by
you.
Mumbai, nobody knows who the guy is. At least Delhi, तो पता चलता है कि वो प्रधानमंत्री होम मिनिस्टर है, ये है वो है. यहाँ पे कौन है पता नहीं, कौन है you ask the cop कौन है पता नहीं, but VIP है. That's it.
VIP है.
And the guys move. That's it.
Cyrus, the problem with that is it is This is colonial area babugiri of highest order, where you are made to feel superior because of your status that you hold. Of course, laws came to that effect that red light will not be used. The pretext and the context of, I'm going to talk little legal here. The paradigm under which the VIP culture came into picture was where people started believing that there is a threat to a bunch of these individuals who might, because India was still upcoming back in those days, and there were military coups happening all around, and people were being assassinated, etc. It gave the government an upper hand in creating something which is called as judicial activism of their nature, not the Supreme Court, that, well, we need to be protected because we are making the country and the government function. Now that applies to the Prime Minister, I totally agree. That applies to the President, I totally agree. But that does not apply to my Zila Parshad. It does not apply to my to my local.
I'm telling you, it's some MLA's cousin
Yeah.
who's gone shopping.
Yes.
Man, कौन है
कौन है
वो?
वो?
Nobody even knows who he is.
Exactly. So that has preceded and crossed levels, and there has been no law to that effect that curtail. Of course, there is a law that says they cannot put red lights. Relatives are not allowed to use those things. But like in Chandigarh, if you try doing it, you're caught. They'll screw you because it's a union territory, and Chandigarh police is really hard on you. Delhi, I don't know, because I'm always waiting on red lights. So for me, it's very common to wait.
And in
when
Delhi, I
people
noticed
come from
they
airport,
stop
you're
two.
waiting.
In Delhi, they stop 3 rows. They stop you. You're at
Yes.
Chandni Chowk. They're stopping at Khan Market. You
The
know what I mean?
whole
It's just-
highway, everything will stop. Everything will stop when they have to
that's
move.
rubbish,
Now,
yeah. That's such
That's
rubbish.
rubbish. There is no concept. I was traveling in Australia in a train once, and I happened to realize their finance minister was sitting 2 spaces ahead of me with one, of course, bodyguard or whatever you call them, a security guy with him. And I happened to look at him and recognize his face from a daily that I was reading. And I said, "Isn't this the same guy?" Somebody said, "Yeah, well, who gives a shit? He's traveling on his own. We are happy." And they wished him good morning, and all of them got down, and nobody asked us to jump off the trains, as it happens here. That when one is sitting, you have to jump and sacrifice your life for the other. Now this has to stop. VIP culture ka activism has to come in. It's totally not okay. What if someone loses their life being stuck in a jam, and it's happened so many times? It happens all the time, but there is no judgment or ruling on the same flight.
pregnancy, rushing
Nothing.
for hospitalization of some kind,
I
tests,
have
exams,
yes.
tests, big client meeting. It all costs people, yeah.
I had to run to the airport with my rucksack. I was taking a flight somewhere overseas. You will not believe I ran for 4.5 kilometers with a pittu on my back because I was stuck in the traffic for 1 hour upwards in near Delhi airport, and I could not reach there. So I had to run. So people started questioning कि आप taxi से उतर के दौड़ क्यों रहे हो, because others will start running with me. We'll miss our flights. The idea is, if it's of such importance and there is such things, we should have infrastructure in place. Legally speaking, no other country does that to their citizens unless it's a
They
mega gala
have-
event where world leaders are
Amber,
gathering.
they have एक पे एक they have got 50 bodyguards, 20 car cavalcade, 40 motorbikes, आगे पीछे decoy गाड़ी.
Decoy.
Or like you said, for the PM, the president, for 3-4 people acceptable, but it just can't go for every Tom, Dick, and
Tom,
Harry.
Dick, and
Yeah?
Harry.
And I mean Dick.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
It's just,
there are multiple
I mean, it's so unnecessary.
And-
And then how dare they hold up the rest of society?
and you
Yeah?
cannot, well, technically speaking, Supreme Court has different laws on this, by the way, the judgments on this. I back of my head, I'm recalling only 2 where a couple of patients were compensated because they lost their lives. But is compensation enough for violating someone's human rights for a small thing? Had it been the Prime Minister, I do understand it's a priority because we cannot waste his time. Be it any Prime Minister, okay, I'm not hinting at something else, but the Prime Minister of the country is Prime Minister of the country, right? The idea here right now is that can a local politician who can wait for 10 minutes, I would say, as a human being, for a local traffic to move around at that time, stopping ambulances, stopping other such services, can you compensate someone for human rights? You cannot compensate someone for the loss of life that has happened, not due to their own fault, but due to the fault of moving of some VIP. And it might not be a VIP, it might be some idiot, a 25-year-old nephew or a 25-year-old aunt or niece or whatever, sitting in the car and trying to misuse those propositions. So more tougher laws, of course, are needed end to end. We don't have them. The red light concept has died down to an extent. At least in Delhi, you cannot put a red light and roam around like that. You have to have some kind of legal status for that red light and the permission to have that. People do come and question you. To a larger extent, the red lights have gone. But in small pockets and areas in individual states, it's still an issue. Capital is a different ball game. If you go to Rajasthan, maybe in some pockets, somebody is using a red light. Nobody questions because people don't know the law on red lights. Who can put a red light? Who's authorized a red light? Who can? Why do you think now most of the cops have yellow lights instead of red lights? It's because there is a judgment in place which says the level of emergency and status that has been established. Why is there a blue light on an ambulance, red light on an ambulance or a fire brigade? There are different horns, there are different means, there are different sirens.
And you know what else the red light is used for? No?
I know the area, the district. It's free passage. But in any case, Cyrus, thank you so much for being with me today. I think we did have some interesting conversation, and
Yes.
we'll give the last take to you and let you end the show then.
Nothing. I'm starting my own party. I've had enough. We have to take on the system. Inqilab Zindabad. The common man, the real common man. And by common man, I don't just mean how much money you make. Common man means you're just unable to understand why you're being repressed from time to time for no reason. And
Absolutely.
repression is there. We are just accepting it with our head bowed. That is why the British ruled over us and many people
Yes.
came and conquered this country.
Yes.
Because we don't want to stand up and question. I'm not saying be aggressive and militant, but stand up and question why do I have to be the chela either of the building panchayat or the village panchayat or the bloody central panchayat? Why?
Yes.
Yes. We have the right to question.
Yes.
It makes
I
no
totally
sense
agree.
that you're standing behind
That's
a
why
guy
the laws
who's
are in place.
driving. Yeah, and that's why we have Amber. Amber will save you. He will empower you. Go to
Amber-
Amber, use
Amber
my
will-
name, you'll get 25% off. हाँ.
Yes.
Amber, थोड़ा
I think-
discount दे दो यार. धंधा भी चलना पड़ेगा ना.
I know, and keep following Know Your Kanun. We've got to keep having Cyrus back, but with more interesting questions because lockdown is going to definitely come in and he'll have more stories to tell us.
Don't worry. Like Saukar, I've got lots of immigrant friends. They will all have the same issues with Big Bad Mumbai.
The Big Bad.
So we'll get
I-
back to them and we'll get back to you as well.
Yes.
Thanks, Amber.
Thank you, Cyrus.
Now it's lockdown, so I want to go hunting.
Yes, Cyrus is going fishing, I suppose.
Raju, banduk lana. 303 single shot.
Single shot.
I'm so good.
12 bore.
Single shot.
Yeah, single shot only. By bird.
I shoot villagers. Huh?
Going home migrants, you hunt them for a living.
Government's approved. Chang.
If it's a lockdown, you can hunt them. All right.
We're just kidding, huh? So you don't get any trolling later.
I'm used to it, Cyrus.
Bye, Amber. Have a good
Bye,
one.
Cyrus. Have a great
See you.
one. Bye.
See you
Bye.
guys.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd like to thank our sponsors this week, thewholetruthfoods.com, PayPal, Cred, and SIAT. Thank you so much for working with us. We really appreciate it. First up this week, let me tell you about Cyrus Says. We featured popular YouTuber and actor Prajakta Kohli, who took us through her journey of content creation. We also had conversations with Vasanti Hariprakash and Sachin Kalbag this week. Really great conversations. Do check those out. Vineet Kanabar goes solo this time on Storytellers and Storysellers as he talks about his favorite IPL ads and how brands have been making content around the Cricket League. On The Habit Coach, Ashton was joined by Arjun and Sumesh of the Fighting Goat podcast to talk about fitness for combat sports like the mixed martial arts. On Nankari, Sadaf and Archit discussed the diet and lifestyle of athletes with the host of the Millennial Athlete, Shok Ramchandra, who is also a pro badminton player and coach. Ambarana opens the 4th season of Know Your Kanun with a list of things he has planned on the show for us, including episodes on immigration law and on career prospects for law students. The IPL season's on and we've definitely got you covered. Tune in to the Edges and Sledges podcast if you're looking for English, and if you're looking to listen to something in Hindi, definitely check out Khel Neeti. Both are great shows with great takes. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
Namaskar, dear friends. My name is Ashish Vidyarthi. Life, as you know, is a journey. And you and I, travelers, how can we celebrate this travel? I have a podcast for you, Begin the Journey. I share stories and moments from my life. Do tune in every Monday and Thursday to listen to my podcast on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcast from. Cheers.